We need to make this fight happen now. And then that's exactly the same what I'm doing right now. Like
whoever wants it can get it, basically.
But I don't need no knockover jobs. Not knockover jobs, but I don't need no fights that go 1 or 2 rounds. I need good quality title fights with people with good rankings, good.
So there's nothing in the works yet. We're just waiting patiently. I'll fight anyone. I think Moses Itauma did. There's something about Moses Itauma, but there's no real point for me going down and fighting Moses. What's the benefits? I'd rather fight someone like Shang wants a rematch at Master Bacoli. There's who else? RJ Carbayel.
To get in the ring soon.
It's quite difficult. I don't think Joseph can do anything else or any more to get the title fight he deserves. He already had it. It was taken away from him.
Moses Itauma didn't hold back when Joseph Parker's name came up. Parker called him out, and Moses responded in the only way he knows, straightforward, no filters, no sugarcoating. His warning was chillingly blunt. If the fight ever gets made, it won't be a tactical chess match. It'll be a demolition job. Moses made
with someone like Joseph Parker, if that fight was to ever happen one day, then it happens. But you know, definitely not on no 2-day notice.
It crystal clear, if Parker steps up, he gets smashed. No metaphors, no polite respect, just raw truth. And to add weight to that warning, Andy Lee, Parker's own trainer, revealed what those sparring sessions with Moses really looked like. Lee didn't dress it up. He said sparring Moses isn't training, it's war.
People don't think Joseph Parker is gonna blast Dillian Whyte out, like what not. But then they think that I will be able to do it. But then I'm not ready for Joseph Parker.
4 rounds with him felt like a battlefield, and that was in the safety of the gym. If Lee himself admits those brief sessions were wars, what happens when Parker faces Moses in a real fight, under the lights, when there's nowhere to hide and no coach to call a halt? Moses isn't hinting anymore. He's promising to turn Parker's night into a nightmare. Parker, on the other hand, sounds like a man trying to talk himself into belief. Focus on my plan, execute.
They were tough spars. Tough 4 rounds. They went to war basically for the 4 rounds. 4 rounds that Moses was in, it was like a wall. And yeah, he's a good guy to be around as well. We enjoyed his company.
I'm jealous of that. I would love to watch Joseph and Moses.
My plan, he repeats. But to most ears, that's code for fear. Deep down, Parker knows exactly how dangerous Moses is. He even admitted it himself, calling the young lion very dangerous. That's not confidence, that's caution. Parker can have all the game plans in the world, but the moment Moses applies that relentless pressure, those plans...
I think as long as I focus on what Andy and my plan is, and I go in there and execute our plan, then I don't have to really worry about what he's going to bring, you know? But he is dangerous, very dangerous, but I want to just go in there and, you know, use what I know.
Disintegrate. And when even Peter Fury, a man known for his cold, clinical takes, admits Moses ticks all the boxes that should set alarm bells ringing for Parker: speed, power, toughness, adaptability, the full package. It might still be early days, but Moses is already dismantling opponents with frightening ease. And that's why Parker should be worried. He can try to dismiss Moses's lack of top-level experience.
He's a fabulous young talent. He's got speed, he's got power. He's tough, he's game, he ticks all the boxes so far. So let's see. Again, he's young. You know, he's not really been tested because what he's doing to these opponents. So let's see, it's early days, but big future for him.
But the reality is clear. This young powerhouse is already being spoken about like a future world champion, and Parker could end up as the stepping stone that proves it. And then comes Tyson Fury. When the Gypsy King himself calls you one of the best of all time, it's not hype, it's recognition from the greatest heavyweight of this era. Fury praised Moses' footwork and movement, comparing it to the nightmare that drained Anthony Joshua. Think about that for a second. AJ, a 2-time heavyweight world champion, admitted he had never been more exhausted in a fight than against a constantly moving opponent. Now imagine Parker, who has never been known for stamina, trying to handle a younger, hungrier, more explosive version of that problem in Moses Itauma. If Joshua, with all his power and conditioning, couldn't find rest, what chance does Parker have? Tyson Fury's
I think he's one of the best of all time. I really do. I think he's one of the best heavyweights of all time. And his movement is so different. One of the things that was interesting, where they were talking about the fight, and AJ Tony Bellows was talking about when he fought him, and AJ was saying that when he fought him, it was the most exhausted he's ever been, because he's always moving. There's no rest.
words expose the truth. Moses isn't just dangerous, he's relentless. Parker won't be able to match that tempo. He'll get drowned, dragged into deep waters, forced into survival mode, and eventually picked apart. This isn't speculation, it's a heavyweight legend foreshadowing Parker's downfall. And while Fury was busy heaping praise on Moses, Parker was busy trying to convince everyone that he still has the tools to compete. Talking about belief, confidence, good training camps, and execution of game plans, it all sounds polished, but in reality, it reeks of desperation. The subtext is simple. Parker needs everything to go perfectly just to survive. That alone exposes the gap between him and Moses. Moses doesn't need excuses or flawless preparation. His natural speed, his brutal power, and his raw hunger are already enough to overwhelm seasoned professionals. Parker's speeches sound strong, but the truth is, when someone keeps repeating that they believe in themselves, it usually...
I believe wholeheartedly in my ability and what I can do in the ring. I have full confidence that give me a good camp or give me some time to put in the work with Andy Lee and George Lockhart. Want to come up with a good game plan, probably different to everyone else's one, and just work.
means they're trying to convince themselves, not the world. Andy Lee and George Lockhart can design as many strategies as they want, but Moses has a habit of ripping up game plans and throwing them in the trash. He forces opponents into chaos, steals away their control, and dominates them. Against him, Parker won't have time to think, let alone adjust. From the first bell, he'll be dragged into a storm he cannot survive. Adam Smith, one of the most respected voices in British boxing, summed it up perfectly. Moses Itauma is a puzzle without a solution. His analysis was brutal in its clarity. If you throw punches at Moses, you get countered. If you hold back, you get bullied and walked down. There's no safety zone, no rhythm, no comfort. And that's why Parker is in serious danger. Throughout his career, Parker has relied on rhythm, on being methodical, steady, and durable.
With Moses is that his feet and his distance and his range is so good and he's so quick that if you commit to the punches, you're going to get countered. And if you don't, you're going to get backed up and taken out. So it's a real puzzle. There's not many heavyweights that are southpaws. Obviously, Alexander Usyk is, but he's moved up into that domain.
But against Moses, there is no rhythm. The youngster's footwork, range, and speed will force Parker to second-guess himself at every moment. That hesitation will create openings, and Moses thrives on punishing hesitation. For Parker, this is the worst possible stylistic nightmare. He doesn't have the raw explosiveness of a Deontay Wilder to keep Moses honest. He doesn't have the pure technical mastery of an Alexander Usyk to frustrate him. Instead, Parker will be caught in no man's land. If he throws, he'll get punished. If he waits, he'll get dominated. Either way, the outcome is the same disaster. Smith's breakdown wasn't hype, it was prophecy. And then Tony Bellew weighed in. Bellew didn't mince his words. He believes there's simply no one alive right now who can beat Moses Itauma. His verdict was blunt. There's no one who's going to beat him. That's not just hype. It's instinct from a fighter who's seen champions.
No one who's going to beat him. I just think technically, physically now, he's at the weight and he's adapted and he's adjusted. I mean, he's even adjusted and adapted his weight for this fight individually. I mean, he put on how much weight and slowed his actual feet down because Daniel Dubois' feet were slow.
Rise and fall. When Bellew says Moses is untouchable, it carries weight. Bellew also pointed out something crucial, Moses' adaptability. The way he adjusts his weight, his approach, and his style from fight to fight. That's not just talent, that's calculation, and it makes him lethal. Parker can't prepare for one version of Moses because there is no one version. Whether Moses comes in lighter for speed or heavier for power, the outcome is the same. Parker gets broken down. Bellew's respect highlights the generational gap. Moses isn't just another contender, he's a different breed, adjusting like a veteran while still being so young. For Parker, that's a nightmare scenario. He's up against someone who evolves fight by fight, and when a fighter adapts that quickly, no one can beat him, stops being opinion.
Moses is an exceptional talent. You know, he's been in the game a long time. He's got a very, long-standing amateur record and pedigree.
And starts sounding like fact. Eddie Hearn echoed the same message. When the sport's biggest promoter calls you an exceptional talent, that isn't casual praise, it's recognition of a future superstar. Hearn pointed to Moses's pedigree, the years of elite amateur schooling that shaped him into something special. This isn't a hype job padded with soft opponents. Moses fights like a seasoned veteran already, and that's what terrifies fighters like Parker. Because here's the truth. Parker has relied on experience and grit, but time and again at the top level, he's been beaten. Anthony Joshua, Dillian Whyte, Joe Joyce, they all figured him out. Moses, by contrast, combines youthful explosiveness with technical pedigree. That's a cocktail Parker has never been able to handle. Hearn knows a star when he sees one. He saw it in Joshua's rise, and he now sees it in Moses, except this time, the potential might be even...
Team around him, honestly, and you're only as good as your team, but I think he's got a really good team around him after being in the ring with him and studying him, still studying him now. I think that he's the one to edge it.
Even greater. That's the writing on the wall for Parker. He might try to drag Moses into deep waters, but against a fighter this complete, Parker will be the one drowning. Even Anthony Joshua, who shared the ring with Parker, gave him praise, calling him phenomenal and crediting his team. But peel back the respect, and the truth is clear. Joshua's words were just veteran-to-veteran acknowledgement. He even admitted he's still studying Parker now. That tells the story. Parker is predictable. Fighters know what to expect from him. They just fine-tune their approach. And predictability is Parker's biggest weakness against someone like Moses. Moses can't be studied. He evolves too quickly, adjusts mid-fight, and brings youthful unpredictability. Parker, on the other hand, has been timed, beaten, and figured out before. Moses isn't coming to study Parker. He's coming to smash through him, to add another name to his highlight reel. And then Derek Chisora.
Bro, nobody wants to see Joseph Parker fight. Why not? Nobody wants to see it. You don't sell shit. I'll smash you don't sell shit. I'll smash.
Always raw, always honest, said what a lot of fans were already thinking. Nobody wants to see Joseph Parker fight. That's the blunt truth. Parker doesn't excite crowds. He doesn't bring drama, chaos, or fireworks. Even Chisora, who fought him, brushed him off as a shot fighter. For Moses, this is golden. Not only does he have the skills to outshine Parker, he has the charisma and the energy to excite fans in a way Parker never has. People won't buy tickets to watch Parker grind out another cautious decision. They'll buy them to see Moses unleash destruction on a veteran. Chisora's words expose the gulf. Parker is past his sell-by date. Moses is the storm everyone's waiting to see unleashed. And the fact that Chisora would happily fight Parker again, without hesitation, shows there's no aura left around him. For Parker, the danger isn't just losing in the ring, it's losing his relevance. Moses threatens to erase what little name value Parker has left. At the end of the day, this isn't just another fight, it's a crossroads. If Moses Itauma smashes Joseph Parker, it cements him as the new face of heavyweight boxing. The young lion proving that experience can't slow down destiny. But if Parker somehow pulls off the upset, it would be the shock of the decade. A wounded veteran clawing back respect by halting the most dangerous prospect in years. The question isn't about skills alone, it's about hunger. Moses is fighting to build his legacy. Parker is fighting to protect what little he has left. Mentally, the edge is obvious. Moses is sharper, hungrier, and far more ruthless. Parker looks like a man clinging on, while Moses looks ready to take everything. So the question is simple. Who are you backing? The young destroyer who's tearing through everything in his path, or the veteran clinging to one last miracle? Drop your predictions below.